Chainsaw Man, the Reze arc. We already know. Let's talk about it. Welcome back, Variant. So we are talking about Chainsaw Man, the Rezo arc, and this movie came out on Thursday, I think, the 24th. I was able to see it last night. Finally, one of these days, I'm gonna get that early screening. Listening to you, Sony. Let me know. But this movie definitely hit. And when you show up to the theater, they gave you a bunch of little like character cards and stuff that you're able to collect. Upside down. So pretty cool stuff. But let's get into it. So Chainsaw Man is back. All right. And honestly, the chainsaws aren't the only thing cutting deep. Like the way this movie takes us from pure chaos to heartbreak, blood splattering, bittersweet romance. Like it's just absolutely an emotional story through and through. So we're going to break down everything about the Reze Arc movie, what works, what doesn't, and what might be Mappa's, best work yet for the Chainsaw Man series. Spoiler free first, and then I'll do full breakdowns and stuff afterwards of spoiler filled content. So first off, visually, this movie is gorgeous. Mappa once again proves that they're on another level. From the smallest sparks to full scale devil battles, the detail is insane. Every frame feels, painted with intent, like they are really trying to drive this home. Story wise, Res Arc picks up after the events of season one. Denji is adjusting to life as a devil hunter, chasing both duties and desires, and that's when he meets Reze, the mysterious girl who flips the whole world upside down. What makes this movie special is balance. Yeah, it's bloody, it's brutal, and it's full of that chaotic Chainsaw Man energy, but it's also quiet and human. And it's strangely beautiful the way they kind of set this up. It explores trust, love, betrayal without losing its edge. So if you've ever seen the series, you'll still follow along. But for returning fans, every beat is emotional and it hits harder. There's growth here. There's this sense of inevitability that just kind of looms over the entire movie. On the technical side, animation and sound deserve awards. The sounds of the chainsaws, the mechanical grinding, the music that's synced, like there's heart in the music, the pure immersion that it gives you. All right. It's cinematic, the quiet moments that linger, like all this is really good. Spoiler free verdict is thrilling, is tragic, is unforgettable. I say this is a high octane love story drenched in blood and beauty, and I would give it an 8 out of 10. Straight up. So that's spoiler free. So, spoilers, let's talk about Reze. All right. Whew, she's a character. She starts off as an innocent cafe romance that quickly spirals into a heartbreaking betrayal. Like she isn't just the girl next door. Like she's the bomb devil, literally. And her entire relationship with Denji is built on her manipulating him. And what's cruel is how real the connection still feels throughout the entirety of the movie. The movie captures all the tragic irony. Reze genuinely grows to care for him, but she still has a duty to pull him apart. And the rooftop scene is just pure pain when you see it. His heart is broken, and he still tries to save her and do what he can. Mappa doesn't hold back on the action either. The chase through the alleys, the water soak fight, the explosion sequences, everything is raw, fluid, emotional. Each punch feels heavy because it's not just combat, it's two people trying to deal with survival and affection. All right. Denji, this movie lets you see who he is besides just chainsaws and running through stuff. Trying to have a normal life, never really went to school, friends, romance, all of this, crashing down as reality's catching up. And he's trying to, figure out how to work in this world. All right. Even with the goodbye scene with Reze is one of Mappa's like most emotional scenes. Like it's bittersweet as how everything happens, but it happens for the reason that it needs to happen. And it's haunting. It just doesn't feel like you know, a solid, like happy ending, but it solves the problems that are going on throughout the movie. I'm not sure if Denji's going to be able to find peace after this because, it's like how do you deal with that? Like, is there always going to be that longing that he has? But again, we'll get more into that as things go on. Is as an as an adaptation is faithful. It's fast. Some manga readers, have probably got some different takes on it because they're able to read through everything and see a lot more because adaptations work a bit differently. But I'm pretty sure that all the romance and destruction and betrayal and all of it that was done in the manga, and I'm pretty sure it was done freaking beautifully. I think that they were faithful to the recreation. I think that they were doing their due diligence to try to recreate whatever was in the manga because it looked really good. And I saw some stills of frame for frame stuff that was absolutely amazing with how it looked. But you know, all of it going down, just the entire story of Denji trying to deal with, working those two sides of the relationships, trying to, look at Makima and looking at Reze and trying to figure out where he fits in and where his happiness is. Does he have a heart? Like all that plays a factor. The fact is that, even at the core with Reze wanting to have something, she still couldn't fight her impulses to do what she was more or less trained to do. And eventually it looks like she may have been trying to towards the end, like it may have been a possibility, but she was able to default real quick to about to handle some business before Makima kind of finally stepped in. So I'm happy with it overall. Like technical praise, the cinematography, top notch. Soundtrack, easily one of the year's best. Like there's this perfect tension between the rock, the noise, the piano. Like Mappa is out there building moods and making you feel it through sound. Like just the sound of the movie. The I want to say the hardest thing that I had to deal with was the pacing. It feels like we do go from 0 to 100 in some scenes where it's just like we're having these beautiful moments and you're doing stuff. So, like in the beginning, Denji's trying to figure his stuff out and everything's kind of moved. The pacing is solid there. Once we get to, the movie sequences, it kind of drags. So when it gets to Reze, it starts to pick up. And then it goes from yo, hey, we're here, we're having fun, we're exploring a relationship to, yo, this thing's gonna get blown up real quick, real fast, in a whole lot of pieces, and we're on 10 the entire time. Like we are we are not slowing down for anything. But going from, the nice, quiet, romantic moments to the full combat was just like ridiculously fast. But it still fits the chaotic nature of the movie of what Denji is being Chainsaw Man and how he has to survive. So it still fits within the narrative. It's just super, super fast on that. Uh, for me, this is definitely a testament to Mappa and it's a statement piece for them. It proves that the series can be cinematic. You can have these moments. It's not just all blood and gore. All right, you're not just destroying everything to make it, hey, look at this. We're gonna chop a bunch of stuff and have action. Like, no, there is heart to it. So now it's not only does Denji have a heart, no, does the series have a heart? And it does. This shows it. Like this is his heartbeat. So I'm curious, what did you think of the Chainsaw Man Reze arc movie? Was Reze's story everything you hoped it be would be? Like, does the pacing leave you wanting more? Like, I'm curious as your thoughts. So I gave it an 8. I want to know your rating. Leave it down below. Tell me what you think, how you feel, and overall, just were you expecting more to come from the series, and what are we going to get into for the next one? Do me a favor, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Thanks for sticking around. Again, I want to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. What did you think? What your scores were? And what do you think we got coming up next for Chainsaw Man? So that's all I got for this one. Shout out to Sony, Crunchyroll, Mappa, all the voice actors, stuff, Japanese and freaking, American. I've seen them both. Absolutely fantastic. Catch y'all